In America, a flood emergency hitting the heartland. Overnight, record floods turned deadly, rising waters shutting down highways, rescue crews rushing to save citizens as 13 reported tornadoes touched down with no signs of slowing down. In a new storm system affecting millions from the plains to the Great Lakes. Plus the life-threatening heat wave in the southeast. We're tracking it all this morning.
Memorial Day exodus, tens of millions of Americans hitting the roads and the skies, a record number of travelers for the long holiday weekend. Hundreds of flights already canceled by those storms. Will airlines be able to get everyone where they're going?
Breaking news, Theresa May calling it quits this morning, stepping down as Britain's Prime Minister in an emotional speech. What her resignation could mean for the United States.
Also this morning, war of words, tensions escalating between President Trump and Speaker Pelosi.
She's lost it.
I pray for the President of the United States.
As the battle over the Mueller report erupts overnight, the president ramping up the investigation of the investigation. And what we're learning this morning about the special counsel's plans to testify.
Plus, the ABC News exclusive, the groundbreaking new program to prevent scenes like this. A police officer taking down a teen with autism. One big city police department using virtual reality to train for delicate situations and putting officers in the shoes of the suspect. The first inside look only on GMA this morning.
And Jurassic Park roaring for the Raptors. Kawhi Leonard in Toronto coming from behind overnight to beat the Milwaukee Bucks. Now the Raptors are just one win away from their first NBA Finals and a showdown with Steph Curry and the Warriors.
Live in Times Square, this is Good Morning America.
Good morning, America. Great to have you with us on this Friday morning. It's great to have you, Mr. Tom Yamas.
Oh, I'm excited to be here. I'm amped up like Drake. like Drake was last night.
And of course, you too, Cecilia. And you can see that Drake, he had that massive crowd in Toronto hyped up after the Toronto Raptors beat the Milwaukee Bucks for the third game in a row to take a 3-2 lead. And in that series,
it's going to be a while.
The
Warriors are ready for whoever comes on. That's not the only party, though. We are rocking into the weekend. Take a look at the crowd right there in Central Park already this morning, waiting for Hosier to take the stage and to take us to church.
But before we head to the concert, we have a lot of news to get to this morning. And the severe weather threat, it is not over for those millions of people in the middle of the country. And while the Southeast is bracing for dangerous heat, Ginger is tracking all of that. Good morning to you, Ginger.
Good morning to you, Michael. You know, Florida, parts of the Southeast for at least a week have been above average, but now we're going into record territory. It's all under this big high pressure system. This weekend, we're talking about Macon or Montgomery potentially seeing their first 100-degree temperature in May in recorded history. These are heat indices by Sunday afternoon. 103 that feels like in Tallahassee. Atlanta should feel like 93. Come with me though, because along the ridge, that jet stream that's keeping all the heat there, severe storms. We've already seen them pop in West Texas. This is Canadian Texas, a wedge that did not hit a lot of folks because it's not populated there, but now it will slowly move east to areas that are much more populated. We're talking about Abilene, Oklahoma City, up to Chicago and Grand Rapids, Kalamazoo. Say you're in Benton Harbor or down through Kansas City. Keep an eye on damaging winds this afternoon and evening. Then flooding, because this all comes along that stationary front. Check out that rescue in Kansas. Cecilia, I think, unfortunately, we're going to see places like the Arkansas River keep draining south, and we're going to see more flooding all the way from the Great Lakes back into Texas and Oklahoma.
A rough week about to get even rougher, Ginger. Thank you. That relentless severe weather is causing record floods in the heartland. ABC's Marcus Moore is near the Arkansas River in Sand Springs, Oklahoma, with the very latest. Good morning, Marcus.
Cecilia, good morning. Officials here in the Tulsa area have issued voluntary evacuation orders for people living along the Arkansas River you see behind me. And I want you to take a look at our second camera to get a sense of the scale of all of this and that torrent of water that is rushing by. Officials here are releasing 250,000 cubic feet of water every second to try to manage the lake levels. That's the Keystone Dam you see off in the distance there. Just massive amounts of water. And we have seen extraordinary pictures of what this flooding is doing. going. Take a look at this. 2 runaway barges crashing into a dam farther downstream in Muskogee County. Just a sense of how powerful this water is. And you heard Ginger talking about the rescue in Kansas. Here's video of that. Just a dramatic rescue happening before cameras. A man trapped in his car for 10 hours before crews were able to rescue him and bring him back to safety. And back here in Oklahoma, some residents who've lived here in this area for decades, they tell me they have never seen anything like this. Michael?
All right, thank you so much. And those tornadoes, they're not letting up either. 13 twisters reportedly touching down for another tense night for millions across the country. Rob is in Jefferson City, Missouri. Good morning to you, Rob.
Hey, good morning, Michael. This town, the state capital of Missouri, hit hard by a tornado, and the power is mind-boggling. We're on the lot of a car dealership where cars and heavy trucks just thrown all over the place. This was the service garage. These industrial lifts, they weigh about a ton each, ripped out of reinforced concrete. This Chevy Cobalt was 100 yards away at the other end of the lot.
Overnight, severe weather battering over half the country.
There's a tornado right there.
The National Weather Service in Baltimore and Washington, D.C. confirming an EF1 tornado touched down in Columbia, Maryland. Down in Virginia, heavy winds and torrential rains sparking these power lines. In Texas, stunning mammoth tornadoes inundating the plains with no signs of slowing down.
It's going to hit that home.
Watch. In less than 2 minutes, this tornado starts in this grassland. Then it turns to hit the home in the distance, crossing the street, then heading toward ABC affiliate Coco meteorologists chasing the twister. A similar scene in Laverne, Oklahoma.
It is enormous.
In Missouri, Governor Mike Parson surveying the destruction from above following a violent EF3 twister that devastated Jefferson City early Thursday morning.
The ferocious tornado with enough force to knock over this semi and then go right into this neighborhood. Roof tile, lumber, insulation strewn all about, snapping these trees in half, destroying people's lives, crossing a major highway miles before it even gets to Jefferson City.
On the ground, we met with the lieutenant governor at this car dealership where 800 brand new vehicles were thrown in all directions from that EF3 that saw winds up to 160 miles per hour.
It's just incredible how much heavy damage there is and how nobody died here.
The only words I can put it is the word miracle.
I'd say this thing was over a half-mile wide on the ground for nearly 20 miles. I spent a lot of the day yesterday with the owner of this lot. His grandfather started this dealership back in the 1930s, and he's just grateful that this thing came in the middle of the night as opposed to the workday when his employees would be on this lot. It'd be a whole nother story if that were the case. Tom.
Tornado half a mile wide. All right, Rob Marciano for us, who's been chasing storms all week. Rob, thank you. We do turn out to that breaking news. Theresa May stepping down from her position as Britain's prime minister, announcing her resignation in front of Downing Street this morning with this emotional speech. Let's take a look.
I will shortly leave the job that it has been the honour of my life to hold. The second female prime minister, but certainly not the last. I do so with no ill will, but with enormous and enduring gratitude to have had the opportunity to serve the country I love.
We hear the tears right there. Let's get right over to our senior foreign correspondent, Ian Pannell, with the latest. And Ian, a major moment this morning.
Yeah, that's right. Good morning, Tom. What a morning of high political drama it's been here in Britain. Just as President Trump plans to head this way in just over 2 weeks for a long-awaited official state visit. After months of pressure and speculation about her future, Prime Minister Theresa May has just announced her intention to step down, but staying in the job until President Trump ends his visit. As we saw, it was a highly dignified and at the end emotional and tearful speech. Theresa May talked about her legacy, the things she's achieved, but I can tell you it's the one major thing that she hasn't achieved that she's going to be remembered for. Brexit, Britain's decision to exit the European Union and the failure to agree a deal. Britain is one of America's closest allies, and President Trump is going to be landing in the middle of one of the greatest post-war crises the UK has faced. The president has already indicated his liking for one of the main leading candidates to replace Theresa May, and everyone's going to be looking to see if he weighs in again at such a highly sensitive moment. Cecilia.
We are certainly waiting to see if that happens. Okay, Ian, thank you. We're going to turn to Washington now. Overnight, President Trump ramping up the so-called investigation into the investigation, ordering intelligence agencies like the CIA to fully cooperate with Attorney General William Barr's review of how the special counsel investigation started. Our Chief Justice correspondent Pierre Thomas is in Washington with the very latest. Good morning, Pierre.
Cecilia, good morning. The Attorney General has suspicions about the origins of the Russia probe, and now he has complete and free rein by the president to pursue his concerns. Last night, following a request by Barr, the president granted the Attorney General sweeping authority, ordering the intelligence community to, quote, quickly and fully cooperate with Barr's review. Barr was also given authority to declassify any information he sees fit. Democrats are crying foul. Last night, House Intelligence Chairman Adam Schiff issued a blistering statement accusing Barr and the president of conspiring to, quote, weaponize law enforcement and classifying information against their political enemies, Cecilia.
Yeah, and intelligence agencies expected to be pretty mad about this as well. But Pierre, you're learning more about Special Counsel Robert Mueller's possible testimony on Capitol Hill. What are your sources telling you?
We're getting more details about why the negotiations for Mueller's testimony have dragged out all these weeks. Turns out Mueller is reluctant to testify. Sources telling ABC News he's concerned that a public hearing could descend into a political circus where both sides would try to use him as a pawn for their own purposes. He also, according to sources, believes he would be limited in saying much beyond what is detailed in his report. All this shows how delicate the negotiations are. Nadler saying last night that Mueller wants to make an opening statement and then go into a closed session. We have not heard anything officially from Mueller, so we don't know whether he will agree to such a deal or simply decline to testify, Cecilia.
Yeah, maintaining his silence. Okay, Pierre Thomas, thank you. Tom?
Cecilia, thank you. We turn to the White House now in the bitter war of words between President Trump and House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. Pelosi saying the president needs an intervention, the president calling her crazy and a mess. Chief White House correspondent Jonathan Karl has more.
She's a mess. At an event to announce billions of aid to farmers hurt by his tariffs, President Trump escalated his war of words with House Speaker Nancy Pelosi.
She's not the same person. She's lost it.
He claims she just doesn't understand the issues.
They sort of feel she's disintegrating before the rush.
And he defended his own mental fitness.
I'm an extremely stable genius.
Pelosi fired back on Twitter, saying, quote, when the extremely stable genius starts acting more presidential, I'll be happy to work with him on infrastructure, trade, and other issues. The president also accused Pelosi of not telling the truth about his demeanor when he walked out of their meeting on Wednesday at the White House.
The president again stormed out. I think, first pound the table, walk out the door. I pray for the president of the United States. I wish that his family or his administration or his staff would have an intervention for the good of the country.
One by one, he called on his advisors to say he was actually quite calm.
What was my tone yesterday at the meeting?
Very calm. I've seen both, and this was definitely not angry or ranting. Very calm.
And Jonathan Karl joins us now from the White House. And John, this fight is escalating online, and it took a nasty turn with some altered videos being shared.
Altered videos of Nancy Pelosi that have been shared on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. What they do is they take real video of Pelosi and slow it down to make it appear that she is slurring his words. Some of these videos have millions of views. In fact, Tom, one of the videos was tweeted out, a link to it was tweeted out by Rudy Giuliani, the president's personal lawyer. Giuliani writing in that tweet, "What's wrong with Nancy Pelosi?" But the video was fake, and Giuliani eventually deleted his tweet.
And you really have to watch these videos side by side because some of them are so sophisticated. All right, Jonathan, thank you. Michael.
All right, Tom. That fight's getting as nasty as the traffic could be for this Memorial Day weekend. And we're going to talk about the Memorial Day exodus with nearly 43 million Americans that are hitting the road and the skies this holiday weekend. Don Giorgiorno from our New York station, WABC, has a bird's eye view from a chopper up in the sky.
The trend has been over the last few years for the commute to really start on Thursday for the getaway. So yesterday afternoon, between the severe weather in the New York area and that extra volume, it was a very difficult evening. This morning, the rush hour commute around New York City, not quite as intense as it usually is. You're looking at commuters dealing with a small accident on the George Washington Bridge, but this is about as good as it will get today. 37.6 million drivers will hit the road across the nation. The worst of the traffic will be from mid-afternoon through the evening. Cecilia, back down to you.
We will stay off the roads then. Okay, John, thank you. This holiday weekend could be a rough start to what the TSA is predicting to be a record-setting summer for travel. ABC's Steve Osunsami is in Atlanta with more on the potential impact on the airways. Good morning, Steve.
Good morning to you, Cecilia. Not since 2005 have this many people been expected to fly on Memorial Day weekend. I want you to take a look at what it looks like here in Atlanta. The regular security lines are long. The pre-check security lines are long. There's even a line to get into this place outside because of construction that's taking place. An estimated 11.7 million people are expected to fly over this holiday weekend. The TSA has every worker they can get in here working. They're telling us the wait is still only 15 to 30 minutes despite these long lines. Weather was a problem in the Northeast this morning. Only about 109 flights have been canceled, which is actually good news. The top destinations are New York, Las Vegas, and Orlando. Tom?
All right, Steve-O, thank you. Now to a major update on the multi-million-dollar college admissions scandal. 3 more wealthy parents expected to plead guilty in the case. ABC's Lindsay Davis has more.
3 wealthy parents, Jane Buckingham, real estate developer Robert Flaxman, and jewelry business owner Marjorie Clapper, are all expected to plead guilty today in federal court in a plot that's already ensnared Hollywood actresses Felicity Huffman and Lori Loughlin. Now Buckingham, a marketing guru and television personality, will likely plead guilty to mail fraud.
When your friends tell you to lie on your resume, you 100% do not do it.
Court documents say Buckingham, who coached kids on how to find jobs after college, allegedly paid thousands of dollars to have an ACT proctor take her son's exam, even submitting a writing sample. Her son Jack has already apologized, telling The Hollywood Reporter, "I'm upset that I was unknowingly involved in a large scheme that helps give kids who may not work as hard as others an advantage over those who truly deserve those spots." Buckingham allegedly gave thousands of dollars to the scam's mastermind, Rick Singer, who profited by helping wealthy families ensure their children were admitted to the country's top universities. According to New York Police, Gregory Abbott, one of the parents who pleaded guilty on Wednesday, was assaulted by his son at their posh New York City apartment earlier this week. After the father was allegedly pushed, kicked, and bitten, his son has now been charged with a felony assault.
Wow. The story's just getting stranger.
Right, and now potentially more charges coming. There are 9 students that they've subpoenaed records at Chapman University.
Wow. All right, Lindsay, thank you.
Far from over.
Yes.
Far from over. We're going to turn now to the Toronto Raptors, just 1 game away from what would be their first NBA Finals in a showdown with Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors. Superstar Kawhi Leonard leading the way for the Raptors, scoring 35 points to win Game 5 against the Bucks on the road. Kawhi and the Raptors have a chance to close out the series in Game 6 at home in Toronto on Saturday night. And of course, superfan Drake, he's at it again, hyping up the crowd in Toronto. Watch the guy who's just throwing his hands around. That's Drake right there, getting excited. Saying after the game, quote, "I love Toronto, I love this team, and we're going to the NBA Finals." He's not there
whose
yet.
jersey did he wear?
He's doing
mixes it up.
he's doing reverse psychology. Whoever he roots for, they usually lose. So he's trying to do reverse psychology.
I tried to watch highlights of the game, and all I came up was the Drake highlights. Just him celebrating after the game. There was no basketball.
Massaging the coach's shoulders. Yeah, he does it all.
Guys, we have a lot of other news to get to following including the warning about pursuing the perfect picture in dangerous places after another college student falls to her death. That is coming up.
Oh, yeah, very dangerous. But first, we go back to Ginger with more on this relentless rain.
Yeah, and then Alabama to South Carolina, talking about extreme heat. Look what's happened in Flagstaff, Arizona. That is snow. They are almost 1.5 feet above average for the season. They had highways that were hazardous, and of course, more rain coming at you, especially in the middle of the country going into this holiday weekend. Your local weather in 30 seconds. First, though, the weekend getaways, sponsored by Audible.
Una mesa para 2 personas.
So again, using para, you're talking about something that is for someone.
Quisiera una mesa para la cena.
Very good.
Could listening to Audible inspire you to start something new? Download Audible and listen for a change.
Clouds clearing, and today is going to feel nice with humidity falling out of this upcoming Memorial Day weekend. Today is going to feel the nicest out of the bunch. 71 degrees here early this morning, mid to upper 70s at lunchtime, and then 82 degrees by 5 o'clock. So hopefully you'll be able to maybe leave work a little early today. Your Saturday, your Sunday, your Monday, all carrying a small chance for some showers and storms. And look at the heat on Sunday, up to 91 degrees. Best chances during the afternoon, especially Sunday between 4 and 8.
Still debating Drake. We'll be right back.
I know what it's like to be in a financially struggling family. We had a lot of leftovers. I couldn't have asked for better parents, but like most people,